Hey, what's up guys? It's Alec from Cichlid Bros, and in today's video we are going to continue our series of species profiles of African cichlids. And in today's video we are going to focus on one of the more popular genus of species in Lake Malawi, the Nimbochromis. So let's get right to it. Alright, so first of all, when I talk about genus, I'm talking about the grouping that's just before species. So within the Nimbochromis genus there are 5 species of fish, and that is the Fuscotaeniatus, the Linni, the Livingstonii, the Polystigma, and the Venustus. These fish are all large predatory haps from Lake Malawi, which are sometimes called predator haps because their diet consists of eating other fish. One of the most interesting things about the Nimbochromis is their hunting behaviors. These fish have been known to quote-unquote play dead by laying on the bottom of Lake Malawi where their prey, mbuna, live. When a fish small enough to eat swims by, the Nimbochromis will quote-unquote wake up and chase their prey. One of the most distinct features about the Nimbochromis species is their camouflage designs on their body. Some say this is simply to camouflage with the bottom of the lake, while others say these designs are to mimic a fish carcass that has lost color. Either way, it is a very interesting adaptation to go along with their unique behaviors, and I gotta say, it makes them a fan favorite with their look. In general, male Nimbochromis species grow to be about 9 or 10 inches in length with big bodies and big mouths. They require a tank size of 125 gallons or preferably larger. They are considered as some of the most aggressive predator haps with a reputation of being a bit more territorial than most. But for the most part, predator haps are not as aggressive as they are made out to be, as long as they are in a proper tank size and set up with tank mates that aren't small enough to be food. But the Nimbochromis genus has been known to get especially feisty with fish that look like they do. So in my 220 gallon tank, I currently have 3 Nimbochromis species: the Fusco, the Livingstonii, and the Venustus. Some might say that is a recipe for disaster because they look too much alike and could get territorial with one another. I also have another fish in this tank called the Tyrannochromis nigerventer that looks a lot like a Fusco as well, so that adds another potential risk. Luckily, so far my Nimbochromis have done great together and have not been aggressive at all. My Fusco was one of my first fish to color up and was one of the original 1-inch fish I bought for this tank 3 years ago. He is close to full grown now and is at maximum color. The Fusco is unique with more grid-like designs on his body. They are also not as large as some of the Nimbochromis species. My Livingstonii is a fan favorite of anyone who comes to see my tank. People love his brown camouflage look and a little bit of blue in the face. He's also nearly full grown, but not quite full color. African cichlids tend to color up based on how high they are on the dominance chain in the tank. Since my Livingstonii is not as dominant, he's not as colored up. I actually prefer that though, because the more colored up a Nimbochromis species is, the less you see their design. They can kind of get a little bit more totally blue on their body. I like how I can see some of the color, but also some of the camouflage in my Livingstonii. The Livingstonii has a bigger, more rounded body compared to other Nimbochromis. My most recent Nimbochromis addition is my Venustus. Venustus is probably the most popular predator hap species that is commonly found in pet stores and sometimes is labeled as the giraffe cichlid because even at a young age, the Venustus has a yellowish gold hue with the black spots looking like a giraffe. This early color going along with the cool designs make the Venustus stand out at a small size and can tend to lead them to frequently being mistakenly bought by customers that are not aware of how big and aggressive they can grow to become. The Polystigma and Linni have their own unique features as well, with more of a freckled camouflage design. The Linni has a droopy mouth that stands out in any tank. The Polystigma looks a lot like a Livingstonii. My best advice for keeping a cichlid from the Nimbochromis family would be to make sure you have a big enough tank size and big enough tank mates, and you'll be fine. They do best with other haps, but have been known to do well with some larger peacocks as well. Again, usually depends on having a big enough tank size and can also depend on the individual fish. Remember, cichlids can come with their own personalities that can be more or less aggressive than their reputation. I wouldn't keep African cichlids with American cichlids due to slight differences in the water parameters, but to each their own, and it is possible. Alright, so in conclusion, if you're in the market for a large African cichlid with cool designs, cool colors, and an interesting personality, you can't go wrong with any of the 5 in the Nimbochromis genus. Just make sure you have big enough tank size and big enough tank mates, and you should be fine. So anyway, that'll do it for today's video. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.